I came across this, thought I'd share. This is the Center for Countering Digital Hate. I have an article here called The Anti-Vax Playbook, exposing those anti-vaxxers' deadly plan to disrupt COVID vaccines and how we can stop them. Anti-vaxxers met in private in late October 2020 to discuss their plans to disrupt the COVID vaccine. They didn't realize CCDH was there too. The Anti-Vax Playbook is our new report exposing their tactics, messages, and use of social media. Our report explains how health experts, the public, tech giants, and legislatures can counter these harmful plans. Here's a little book they got here. Ooh, look at that. Look at all the eye and all the skulls coming out of your phone. Ooh. Little swirly, hypnotized eye. How to help stop the spread of misinformation about a COVID vaccine. Drawing on the latest research, the Center for Countering Digital Hate created this infographic on how we can all help prevent the spread of misinformation and boost good evidence-based advice. Click the image below to share on Twitter. How you can become a vaccine ally. 5 tips for countering anti-vax information. Stop. Don't engage with anti-vaccine information online. Slow. Don't overreact. Just because you see it doesn't mean it's widely believed. Correct misinformation from family and friends privately. Message them privately. Spread pro-vaccine messages and get vaccinated and get loud about it. Thank God they're here for me. Let me see if I've got it. Here it is. Read the report. Hang on, I gotta switch my screen to read it to you. Here it is. Let's look at it. The Anti-Vax Playbook. There's our little image. Spread hate. Let's see. Center for Countering Digital Hate is a not-for-profit NGO that seeks to disrupt the architecture of online hate and misinformation. Digital technologies change forever the way we communicate, build relationships, share knowledge, set social standards, and negotiate and assert our society's values. Digital space has been colonized and their unique dynamics exploited by fringe movements that instrumentalize hate and misinformation. These movements are optimistic, agile, and confident in exerting influence and persuading people. Over time, these actors, advocating diverse causes, from anti-feminism to ethnic nationalism to denial of scientific consensus, have formed a digital counter-enlightenment. Their trolling, disinformation, and skilled advocacy of their causes has re-socialized the offline world for the worse. The center's work combines both analysis and active disruption of these networks. CCDH's solutions seek to increase the economic, political, and social costs of all parts of the infrastructure, the actors, systems, and culture that support and often profit from hate and misinformation. It's a whole industry. Oh, I forgot the dummy. Hello, everyone. Hello, Renee. Hello, Blind. Just been doing some research this evening. Came across a few things. Thought I'd share them. Not going to read all of this, but the link is in the description. Actually, probably not this one. Let me put it in here. I'll add it to the description later if you want to go check this out. Hey, Jeff, how are you? Bam! Big tech companies such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google, and YouTube have done little to stop the flow of lies. I'm sharing right now. I'm sharing the misinformation that they want us, the hate, right? So YouTube is definitely failing to act. Let's see. Fewer than 1 in 20 misinformation posts are removed. Why? In part because the audience for anti-vaccine misinformation is worth up to $1 billion a year. $1 billion. How much is the vaccine real information worth? Sharing is caring. Moonshine, elevator, faucet, Bloomberg. Yes, please do that. Thumbs up if you're nice. Thumbs down if you're rotten. Love it. So let's count down to, I think it said, let me go back up here real quick. Page of, yeah, here it is. Let's see where we want to go. I was thinking, let's just skip right to conspiracy theory. So 27. Oh wait, here's their master narrative. This is the stuff I'm so interested in. Oh no, I just might have to read the whole fucking 48 pages. Okay, because I mean, Jesus. Let's keep going. Okay. Let's see. Hello. This report, the Anti-Vax Playbook, is based on in-depth analysis of speeches and presentations by leading digital anti-vaccine advocates at a meeting they recently held in private over 3 days. But they were there, so it wasn't that private. I wonder if the Illuminati have people that are there in their private meetings that share their information. I don't know. Investigation of private anti-vaccine digital spaces and other intelligent gathering by our researchers. It reveals how anti-vaccine networks are systematically planning to suppress uptake of the coronavirus vaccine by exploiting digital platforms. These malignant actors have developed their strategic understanding over years of advocacy and practice. Their strategy is simple: exploit social media algorithms predilection for controversial and engaging content to hammer home 3 key messages. COVID isn't dangerous, vaccines are dangerous, and mistrust of doctors, scientists, and public health authorities. Despite the variety of styles, tones, and themes employed by the anti-vaccine movement, every meme they share is in service to one of these 3 messages. Our response must be equally simple: to inoculate against misinformation by ignoring the individual memes generated by the anti-vax industry and instead focus on communicating our core message, one that has the belief of being the benefit of being true. 1, COVID is deadly. 2, vaccines are among the safest, most effective, most consequential human inventions in the past 2 centuries, saving countless lives from disease, the ones they created, disability, and even death. And 3, doctors, scientists, and public health professionals choose those professions which they want to help people and better understand the world. Interesting, isn't it? Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay. Go down. We have an executive summary. I like some of these comments here. Leading anti-vaxxers view COVID as a historic opportunity for them to reach larger numbers of the public than ever before and to create long-lasting distrust in the effectiveness, safety, and necessity for vaccination. And they continue to grow with 147 of the leading accounts. Oh my goodness, there's 147 accounts gaining 10.1 million followers since 2019, and an increase of 25%. The additional growth took place primarily on Instagram and YouTube, with anti-vaxxers adding to an extra 4.3 million followers on each platform. They've developed a sophisticated playbook for spreading uncertainty about the vaccine, converting vaccine hesitant people into committed anti-vaxxers and resisting it. Could anybody have just maybe used their own thoughts on it? It's interesting. They assume that if you're an anti-vaxxer, those people must have read a meme. That's what makes them suspicious. A meme. Online organized themselves around a master narrative comprised of 3 key messages. And the advocates can definitely not be trusted. Alternate health entrepreneurs, conspiracy theorists, and accounts aimed at parents or ethnic communities vastly expand the reach of this master narrative and tailor it to a cause uncertainty in their audience. They have created accessible online answering spaces on these websites. Most established, let's see. Information by adopting a lifeboat strategy. Alt tech forms such as with little success. The public are urged not to engage with anti-vax misinformation online, even to rebut it or criticize it, because doing so only spreads the misinformation to new audience. The example is given of anti-vaxxer narratives trending on social media on the first day of the rollout, primarily due to pro accounts amplifying them. Instead, the urgers are used to share pro messages, and platforms are urged to remove the accounts of super spreaders, quote unquote, with the largest followings and using the most cynical tactics. The report provides evidence that some are guilty of promoting false cures and training their social followers to spread harmful misinformation. They're training them. Practitioners are advised to focus on inoculating the public by ignoring individual memes and focusing on the master narrative with a series of suggestions for how inoculation can make individuals more resilient to the inoculation can make them more resilient to the messaging. Is that because they? Is that one of the side effects? So some of the online featured in this are the Fifth International Public Conference. A private online conference was organized and held, and the conference featured a number of influential online anti-vaxxers as speakers. This might be interesting people to go look up and see exactly why. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. apparently was one of them. Oops. Let's go down to conspiracy theories. Oh, here are some of the private groups to re-educate discussion forum. Stop mandatory. Let it be your choice. Goodness gracious, Mr. Tenpenny can't even be my choice anymore. You want to tell me it's not their choice? And restore liability to the makers. In other words, the makers of these loosey juicies have to be liable if something goes wrong. I don't see why these are anti. Wow. That's quite disturbing. That's really quite disturbing. So the fact that they're going to educate me about them, re-educate me with truth. No, we can't know that impossible. No, our narrative only stands. We are going to stop. They don't want us to stop. You can't stop a mandatory. Mandatories are necessary. You do not have a choice. And, they're not liable. So all four of these are misinformation. That seems quite scary right there. And they see it as a historic opportunity, these anti-vaxxers. Robert Kennedy Jr. told activists listening that all the truths that we are trying to broadcast for many, many years, there are people hearing it. And the impact seeds are landing on very fertile ground. But he's an bad guy. He's a bad guy. So they continue to grow. So that's kind of a good thing, bad thing. I'm not sure. Look at that. Look at that. Twitter has 400. That shows you how many in the audience. It's interesting. Sorry, guys. I can't really read chat right now because I've got this up on the page. And I'm just kind of doing this, so I don't want to get sidetracked. This isn't really a chat stream. I'm just sharing information I found interesting. And in this one, I thought I'd read a little bit. But I'll go back through and pull up. If you've got links or anything, go ahead and drop them in there. So they've got a playbook. So the first thing they're going to do is establish their master narrative. It's adopting the master narrative for online cultures, offering spaces for people who might be hesitant. Heaven forbid people who are afraid to get it have a place to go that they feel like they can say something up front and out and honest about their fears. Good Jesus. That is a horrible thing to do. I agree. Shouldn't be giving people a safe space to talk about things. They're converting the hesitant into the anti. Oh my. Well, they should. We should be turning them in. I mean, we shouldn't be. Why should they be doing that? They shouldn't be doing that. That's terrible. It's heaven forbid someone who's hesitant makes a decision on their own. That would suck. Can't have your own thoughts. It's 2021. Everyone's allowed to have their own thoughts, and they will be developing techniques for undermining those fact-checking and attempts to remove their information. Okay, let me tell you something about fact-checking here, and I'm glad that you're saying that because your fact-checking really needs some help. I remember Snoops said that they're not collecting your DNA when they're giving you the COVID swabs. That is actually true. They weren't. They weren't collecting your DNA. However, if you tested positive, they then sent you to the doctor, and you know what the doctor did? He collected your DNA from your positive test and sent it off. So now technically the swabs were collecting the DNA. So I think the fact checking they need to get some people that are a little bit better, because if I was an anti-vaxxer, those would be the kind of things that I'd go, now see, it seems like you're kind of half lying and half truthing. And so if you don't want me to, if you want me to believe you, if you guys really want to get the anti-vaxxers on our side, then you're going to have to do better with your fact checking and not like half-ass it. Okay. Let's see. They're not dangerous. It's not dangerous. The vaccines are dangerous and advocates cannot be trusted. Well, that's not a good thing. COVID is very dangerous. Or you can get long COVID, and the vaccines are not dangerous, although they can also give you COVID, which can lead you with long COVID. Or we don't know. You could die from it. I suppose if I had a blood clot in my leg, or if I fainted, that could be considered dangerous, couldn't it? So we should cut them some slack here, because actually they are kind of dangerous, as the side effects say, may cause death. So really they are dangerous. Just saying. And the advocates cannot be trusted. I don't know. I've known some anti-vaxxers and I trust them. Maybe not with my choice and rather not to get a shot, but I'd let them stay in my house. Maybe, take care of me if I was sick or something. They're trustworthy people, not bad people. Jesus, they're not the devil. These factors are widely recognized as two of the 3 C's of vaccine hesitancy, along with the convenience of accessing a vaccine. And Del Bigtree addresses some of these. He's a big guy. He's a big anti-vaxxer. Don't listen to him. First of all, let me just say that COVID is very dangerous. And the master narrative that these anti-vaxxers have is just ridiculous. Okay, so clearly the flu is very dangerous. You could die from the flu. We all know that. Let's be ridiculous. The deaths are exaggerated. Well, they're the ones reporting the deaths. Oh, I see. They regularly claim that the numbers have been exaggerated. Oh, I see. Some quoting the death rate of, well, that is because that there for a while, we've been told that if you go in and die from, a lawnmower accident and test positive, you'll be put down for the death rate. So I'm just saying, again, just trying to help you out here. Playbook for anti-vaxxers. Maybe the vaccinated community or the leaders there should give us more accurate information. See, it's hard for me to believe you when you're saying things that, I don't know, don't really make sense. So you should be more honest. Look, the Grim Reaper is coming to get you. This is a meme posted on a Telegram channel. Interesting. They exaggerating the natural immunity. It can be treated with therapeutics. Heaven forbid you use something natural that's not a pharmaceutical to treat yourself when you don't feel well. If I have a urinary tract infection, I drink cranberry juice. It has to be 100%, but it works. Don't have to go to the doctor for that. Oops, I might get in trouble for saying that out loud. It's too soon to tell if it's safe. That seems fair. It kind of is. So trial participants have been seriously injured. Some even use the deaths in a large-scale trial to claim that they're deadly, even where those who died were in the placebo group. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Are not placebo tested. Oh, they are. Oxford AstraZeneca has faced attacks for its use of the meningitis vaccine. Interesting. I don't know if that's true. Probably meningitis. Mistakes will affect. Ooh, a mistake. It's toxic or even unethical. It contains cells from abortions. Vaccines that used human. originally derived from aborted fetuses over decades ago. The anti-vaxxers claim that this makes these vaccines incompatible with opposition. Although the Vatican has declared that Catholics can use it in good conscience. Oh my God, okay. So if I'm against abortion, as long as the Vatican says that it's okay, I mean, he talks directly to God, right? All right, then, I won't let that bother me. They're bad for the environment? I don't know that one. Oh, wild animals. They involve the unethical exploitation. Well, don't they? Do they? I know they like to use those illumination fish, and they like to use squid and octopuses and stuff for longevity research. So since this technically is something that's being used to help people live longer in the future, then I would have to agree that your snoops isn't really going to work here either, because, well, you are, in fact, using potato, they're all part of the same big program, right? Not only that, but if we're so overpopulated, I would think that you wouldn't be so concerned to getting these vaccines and everybody. I'm just asking questions. And it will change your DNA. They say this is false. This is actually not false. Any shot, any stubbed toe, any illness, any cold, a chew. Let's just say your parents got divorced. Say you lost a job. In fact, all of these things can cause your DNA to change. You can look that up. It's all over the research, all over Oxford and all those schools, all of them. Tons of research about how your DNA has changed after you have an event. You can go read that if you don't believe me. So again, your snoops, this is only half true. This is only half true. It most definitely does change your DNA, because a shot in general does. Doesn't matter if it's a saline shot. Doesn't matter if it's an IV in my arm. It actually does. My DNA changes a little bit. It's very interesting. There's lots of research on it, actually. Tons and tons and tons. I found that out long before COVID. Actually, I learned that way early on in researching for my own rare genetic disorder, and how my DNA has altered over the history of my life based off of the events that I have come across. And they're actually doing research to follow children as their DNA changes, to see what events take place that cause the comorbidities that are going to show up later in life. So that comment right there is a complete false lie. Okay? It's just, you have to look at it from a different angle. See, they're just saying it doesn't alter your DNA. It didn't make you turn into an alien. No, but it actually does have a tiny, because any cold, any flu, any damage to your body, a zit on your face, anything can alter your DNA. Just not in the way you think. So you have to look that stuff up. You need to be smarter than that. Let's see, 27. The advocates can't be trusted. Profit is being put in front of safety. Well, no, this is interesting. Because they are making a whole lot of money. And they're really more concerned about getting this out to everyone than they are making sure that they have blankets when it's cold in Texas, or heaters, or I don't know, fans when it's hot in Maine or Alaska, maybe. I don't know, where the whole planet's gone crazy. Making sure people have food, making sure people have jobs, making sure that their rent is paid, because I just read another article. I was going to share it, but I thought I'd probably just skip over that one, that talked about the eviction laws and during this whole thing, and whether or not you can evict someone because they lost their job because of whatever, they've gotten sick or this, that, and the other, and can you evict them now? They just, whatever, they don't give crap about you. But this they're really worried about. So this I find interesting, because there's a lot of profit. If they really cared, they'd take the profit and they'd help people. Not to mention, like a simple Google search to the amount of money that's being invested in these companies, and then where the CEOs go on vacation, And the fact that they've been free to fly all over the place this whole time should tell you that right there is full of shit. Who's believing this? They use Bill Gates as a symbolic. The Q movement. They're crazy. Those people are crazy, I tell you. They're crazy. Campaigners, entrepreneurs, conspiracists, communities, parents. Heaven forbid you as a parent get to choose for your own child as well. That seems weird. And minorities. The people who are in a minority or ethnic group saying, I don't want to be a guinea pig. Nope. Sorry. That's hate, as the title of this article or this report, this PDF says. That's hate. Don't try to cure yourself. If you don't go to the doctor and get their stuff, you are playing with alternative health, and that's a big no-no. That's witchcraft right there. You should be careful. Let's see. The experts say. Okay. Wow. Anyway, I think we're almost to 27, and then I'm going to let it go. Yep. Okay, so here's our conspiracy theory. I thought this might sound interesting. Research has shown that conspiratorial thinking is positively and significantly associated with vaccine hesitancy. By adopting their master narrative for online communities concerned with conspiracies, anti-vaxxers access a large and receptive audience. Even leading anti-vaxxers have felt comfortable alluding to grand conspiracies about Bill Gates, a pandemic, or the Great Reset. And this conspiracy signaling allows prominent anti-vaxxers to insert themselves into online conspiracy narratives with little risk of their content being removed by a social platform. In return, this makes it easier for dedicated conspiracy theorists to integrate an anti-vax master narrative into theirs, and they gain credibility from association with established anti-vaxxers and their own organizations, businesses, and medical qualifications. For example, conspiracy misinformation site Waking Times has previously featured Joseph McCullough as a guest writer on health issues. It's a scamdemic. It's a hoax. It's designed to control or kill you. Is it? I don't know yet. I won't know until all the studies have come in. I reserve my right to decide what it is. Other adaptation of this narrative claims that the vaccine is positively designed to kill people, and this fits into a range of long-running conspiracy theories that claim organizations like the UN or wealthy businessmen like Bill Gates are using vaccines to depopulate the earth. I'm pretty sure he said that, though. Didn't he say that? I don't know. Pandemic, the Great Reset. So basically, if you watch this channel or you're in here at the moment, you are in fact, go back up to the top, let me do it. You are in fact part of the anti-vax Playbook. You should take a good look at yourself, read this, see if you identify with any of these things. And if you do, please get professional help, because you don't want to spread hate. The Center for Countering Digital Hate wants you to keep that hate to yourself. Anyway, that's it. I'll drop the link. I put it in here. I forgot to put it in the description. I'm going to do that, but I'll drop it in here again. Everyone post your stuff if you've got them real quick. And I'm going to end this now. There's lots on this paper. There's 48 pages. Be awesome if some other people would share it because, I mean, Jesus, that's pretty big work there they're using. Hate. Anyway, y'all have a good night. And I put up some other videos earlier. So not all of them have anything. Really, I was just doing research and I was just pinging off of one tab to another. And I thought they were cool and I wanted to share them, at least for the link. You can pause the videos or you can just go straight to the article and read it yourself. Y'all have a good night. Talk to you later.